Okay, here, Central Question 1, Unit 5, the nervous system and reaction note, the reaction notes. Do this in class, but for those of you who maybe want to watch this again or were absent, here it is again. How does an environmental stimulus cause a response in an organism through the functioning of the nervous system? So here are your functions of the brain, of the nervous system in the brain. So responsible for feeling, thinking, remembering, moving, awareness. Coordinates all the body systems to maintain homeostasis, and that's communication between the brain and the body. So essential question 2, you will learn about all the different parts of the brain and what parts are responsible for these functions. So make sure that you watch that and you learn that. All right, so it's when we talk about the nervous system, and we talked about this last time when we talked about the peripheral nervous system or the action potential. It's made up of 2 parts: central nervous system, which consists of the brain and the spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system includes all the others, the nerves, and we talked about sensory neurons, inner neurons, motor neurons, right, where the sensory goes from this, let's say, the skin to the spinal cord. Inner neurons are located within the spinal cord, and then the motor neurons are located or go from the direction of the spinal cord to the muscle, right? So we have afferent going towards the spinal cord, efferent going away. So we're going to talk about 2 different pathways, right? So typical nerve pathway is what you're doing right now. You're looking at this video, you're processing the information, and if you're writing notes, you're sending that, the signals to your muscles to go ahead, pick up your pen, and write these words down. So this is the typical nervous system pathway, where it goes from the sensory neurons send an impulse to the spinal cord and then the brain. Then the brain processes the impulse and sends this response back down to the spinal cord. And then that response stimulus travels from the spinal cord to wherever it needs to go, right? So if it goes to your hand, picking up your pen, and it's a constant, you can imagine all the constant impulses going back and forth for you to write certain words down and to process the information from your eyes, setting it down, knowing that you're picking up a pen. So it's always these pathways that are going back and forth from your senses to your motor neurons. So, sensory neurons, spinal cord, brain, spinal cord, motor neuron. Even though it goes through a lot of spots, it happens quite fast, as you can imagine. But what's even faster is the reflex arc. So this is to protect ourselves from pain and eventual damage to any of our tissues. So this is a rapid response that does not involve the brain. So it's something that we don't need to think about, right? Steps to the reflex arc. The sensory neuron sends the impulse to the spinal cord, and it goes right back to the motor neurons. So for instance, if you touch something hot, you don't need to think about it. You don't need to look at it, think about what's going on. Oh, it's hot. I'm going to burn myself. I should pull this away and then pull it away. No, as soon as you touch something, your automatic impulse is to pull your hand away. So it happens before you are in pain, or more importantly, it starts damaging tissue, right? Hopefully, or at least it doesn't get too bad anyway, right? So this is a protective mechanism. So that's pretty much, here's the picture of the reflex arc when you're stepping on the attack, and you can see what happens. It just goes to this spinal cord, and then you lift your foot off if you're able to. If you have your weight, it might be a little bit longer, but for the most part, I think you know what I'm talking about. So that's nice, easy EQ1 notes. Again, I will combine EQ1 and EQ2 as one assignment as far as a interaction. So it's just going to be one assignment in Canvas.